This has been a presentation of the Yes Network. Soaring into history. Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.
Watching Yes.
It is a hot, steamy Saturday afternoon here in New York City, and it is time for baseball. As the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the Boston Red Sox against the New York Yankees in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and Joe Girardi. I'm Michael Kay. Tough times for the Yankees. They were one strike away from a 3-1 victory, and then the Red Sox struck twice.
Well, solid pitching performance all night. You think we're just going to close this out one pitch away? Dangerous pitch to a left-handed hitter, a sinker. Yoshida catches up to it, and all of a sudden, everybody was shocked. But we still got a chance, right? Nope. In the bottom, at the top of the 10th, a two-run home run. That served to be the winning thing for the Boston Red Sox. An ugly loss for the Yankees.
Things have changed. First 60 games, the Yankee bullpen was outstanding. 2.76 ERA. They gave up 15 home runs. Now the last 30, already 16 home runs with a 5.09 ERA. So times are tough now for the Yankees. They've lost 15 of their last 20 and 4 in a row. So when you need to straighten things out, you go to the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and that's what the Yankees are doing today.
Well, after Garrett's start against the Mets, I think people were wondering when the Cy Young Garrett Cole was going to show up, and he did on Sunday in Toronto. He was brilliant. 5 innings pitched, only 1 run, 6 Ks. He had a great fastball, 98 miles an hour. Look at that ball take off there, Ernie Clement. And look at this knuckle curveball to Kevin Kiermaier. And he loved it. He had great stuff, and he is back.
All right, so his first game back, he threw 62 pitches against the O's, then 72 at Citi Field, 90 last time. So he has a full workload right now, today, if the Yankees need him to go over 100 pitches. Well, times are tough right now for the Yankees. They are struggling in every way that you can imagine. So how do you keep yourself right? Well, Meredith Marakovits has more when we return right here on Yes.
Getting you ready for first pitch between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovits. There's no way to sugarcoat it. The Yankees have not been playing good baseball lately. In fact, last night's loss probably as bad as it gets. When you look at their record over the last 20 games, it is 5-15, and that is the worst in Major League Baseball over that span. They are looking for answers in that clubhouse, trying to figure out how to turn this around.
I think it's from a lack of effort necessarily, or preparation, but we're kind of getting kind of going through it a little bit.
I think we have a really good clubhouse of staying even keeled, showing up every day, and we trust each other, we trust ourselves, and we know we got everything ahead of us. So I'd say, we play to win. We expect to win. We're the Yankees.
I think we're wearing a little bit. No denying this has been an awful stretch for us, and and then you back it up with, about to walk off with a win last night, and that's taken away. So that's a gun punch in the middle of a 3-week stretch where you're not playing well and struggling to win ball games. So you've got to be able to weather that here, though. That's part of being a big leaguer, part of the gauntlet that is this thing, and part of playing here where it can get heavy, and you got to make sure that you're pouring into one another, supporting one another, and trying to keep the focus, again, small on going out there and handling the next pitch.
If you're looking for any good news, consider this. The Yankees have their ace going this afternoon in Gerrit Cole, making his 4th start since coming off the injured list. They could certainly use him to be Gerrit Cole against the Red Sox this afternoon. Plenty more to come on the Yes Network. When we get back, Michael Kay will be joined by Paul O'Neill and Joe Girardi. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Is warming up as he will try to stop the Yankees' 4-game losing streak. He's on the mound, his place of work, his office for this Saturday afternoon. Yankees baseball on Yes will be brought to you by TikTok. The starting lineup: Jarren Duran leads off, David Hamilton the shortstop, Wilyer Abreu is in right field. Middle third of the order: Devers, Valdez, and Yoshida, who hurt the Yankees with that 2-out, 2-strike home run in the 9th inning to tie it. McGuire, Smith, and Rafaela, bottom third of the order. So 8 left-handed batters for the Red Sox. And they'll face that man, Gerrit Cole. This is his 4th start. You see his numbers. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Well, he was back to form last Sunday in Toronto. His velocity was up. The swing and miss was up. He's also been the stopper since 2023 in games he's pitched after a loss. They are 13-4. And the one guy that he needs to be careful with is Rafael Devers. He's 12 for 38, 313 with 7 home runs. The rest of the team is hitting 186. So don't let him beat you.
Up close and personal with Jarren Duran as he's digging in to face that man. Gerrit Cole has spent most of the first half of the season on the IL, working his way back, and again, full workload today expected from him. Duran digs in. He's ready. Cole is ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch up and away, 1-0. It is a hot, steamy Saturday afternoon for sure. Humidity. And the sun is baking the field as well. There was some rain earlier in the morning, but it didn't clear away this heat. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
And that's just smart pitching. You throw 2 balls with your fastball that kind of run off the plate, so you come back with a cut or something that goes the other way. And you paint with it.
Yeah.
Sky the other way and out of play, so 2-2. Let's check out the Yankee defense presented by Defender. Verdugo, Grisham, and Judge left to right in the outfield. Soto is the DH today. LeMahieu, Volpe, Cabrera, and Rice third to first. Trevino is behind the plate, catching Gerrit Cole. Boston is 48-39. The Yankees are 54-36. While the Yankees have lost 15 of 20, the same time the Red Sox have won 15 of 20. So they have picked up an awful lot of ground on the Yankees. They're just 3 games in back of them. in the loss column.
I think that's why you talk about the season's a marathon. You don't make too much of any one month, whether it's the first month. The only month that matters is that last month where you're at.
Ground ball, second base. Cabrera is there. One down. Time to check out the keys to the game, brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, no margin for error. Clean it up. I mean, you can phrase it any way you want. When you're losing like the Yankees are, you just can't make the fundamental mistakes that the Yankees have been making lately. Missed opportunity shut down the big part of their lineup last night. The 1 through 5 hitters were 1 for 23. The only problem was the second part of the lineup, 6 through 9, 7 for 16 with 5 RBIs and 2 home runs. You know, the sun came up this morning, but I did wake up to a thunderstorm, so it was a bit gloomy. But you know what? You cannot bring last night's horrible loss into today's game.
No, I was talking to Boone about that today. Do you worry about the team getting down, on a stretch like this? And he said, you watch them, and it's got to be little things that you're doing. He said, just at bat to at bat, you can't look at the big picture. Is that pretty much how you approach it?
You're looking at frustration levels, and if you see different faces, really good fastball up there, you're seeing like guys get out of the routine, maybe hanging their heads. That's what you're looking for. Then you know it's starting to affect them. And you should, at this level, learn to turn the page because you're out there every day, and you learn in the minor leagues the importance of that. And, I mean, it's human nature. When you're struggling and you're not hitting, I mean, you think about, there's a couple guys hitting, but that's about it. When you're not hitting, it's a tough game. Kept you up at night.
Oh, boy, many sleepless nights. You know what? Last night's game, I don't know. I'm not even in the locker room, but it bugged me on the way home because you can remember those type of games. And they just ruin your night because you're so close to thinking, the world's right again. We just had a good pitching performance. We shut the Red Sox down. And then you go home with that unbelievable feeling like, wow, how did that just happen?
Boone talked about that. I asked him how he's holding up. He said, last night was tough. He said, you're one away from walking off with a win, and then it turns into what it turns into, but you have to turn the page. And Garrett Cole on the mound certainly is something that buoys the spirits.
Yeah, I think anytime he takes the mound, it's kind of uplifts the spirit of the club. And, he's a guy that's got such dominating stuff. Get through 6 innings, maybe into the 7th, it would be fantastic today.
Strike 3. Hamilton down looking.
Well, that tells me a lot there about how he feels. Only throws that knuckle curveball about 12% of the time, and he's not afraid to throw a 3-2. I mean, just an outstanding pitch. And those two guys, you got to keep off the bases because they're 44 for 48 in stolen bases.
Here's Wilyer Abreu. And a strike. Backdoor slider.
You know what we saw from Abreu yesterday? He didn't like that changeup. It's not a pitch that Garrett Cole throws a lot, but he didn't like Tommy Kahnle's, and he didn't like Luke Weaver's changeup.
0-2.
What are you flinching for? You think that was coming in the booth?
It was coming this way.
Let's take a look at the weather, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. It's 89, but it feels like 104.
What?
Yeah. Bigelow, the official hot tea of the Yankees.
Do you like playing in these type of days?
You know what? I like playing in these days when you were at the plate most of the time or in the dugout. It's the long innings that, if the pitcher starts walking people, that it can get to you. I mean, believe me, the heat is a factor when it gets to be this hot.
I know for me, I'd wear a batting glove on hot days when I would catch. And you're always wiping the sweat off, and sometimes the Velcro would scratch you under your eyes and your forehead, and you're like, what happened when you go home tonight? You're like, oh yeah.
Like you got in a fight.
1-2. Bit upstairs. Fastball sitting at 95-96 so far. Alfonso Marquez, the home plate umpire, considered hitter-friendly in his 26th season. Fewer inside strikes, fewer high strikes. Marquez is the crew chief. Rest of the crew, Lance Barrett at first. My favorite umpire, John Bacon at second. And Roberto Ortiz is at third.
How much bacon did you have today?
A lot.
Said you've already had your bacon today. You don't need an umpire with bacon, too.
10 slices?
About that. Over under 9.5. High fly ball left field. Verdugo will put it away as Cole retires the Red Sox in order. Yankees coming to bat. Our Yankees starting lineup brought to you by TikTok. It's Rice. Soder's DH today. And Judge is in right field, so he'll bat third. Middle third of the order, Verdugo, Volpe, and Grisham. And the bottom third, Trevino, Cabrera, and LeMahieu. And they're going to face the Red Sox right-hander, Josh Winkowski. So he started out of the bullpen, has been transitioned to a starter. You see his numbers. Let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report.
Yeah, what you're talking about right there, Michael. Changing roles again. He was a starter in 22. Last year, 59 of his 60 appearances were in relief. This year, it's been a little bit both, but they're building up, and he is a starter again. They better have his back because he is not a strikeout guy. Only 13% as a starter. Major League average is 22.4, and he's a high ground ball guy. And we saw the infield yesterday, so they're going to have to take care of it. And he's trying to catch a break. He's trying to get more horizontal break on his slider so it becomes a sweeper, so he can get some swing and miss and not having so many balls put in play.
What a pitch comes in vogue, and you try to learn it. A sweeper. 2 years ago, we'd never heard of a sweeper. It's a nice big breaking ball, but now we got sweepers.
Coney had a sweeper.
Yeah, he did. Mom at home's got a sweeper. She uses it a lot, in fact.
That's a swifter.
Oh, well.
It could be a sweeper, too.
She uses that, too.
A vacuum?
A lot. Babies are in town. We use them more than we should.
That's what the dogs are for.
1-0 on Ben Rice.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of those cutters and sinkers, Paul. So he's kind of tunneling that, from east to west instead of north to south. And that's why he wants that big sweeper as well.
The 1-1. 2-1.
Talk about home plate umpire as a hitter friendly. These first three guys, they don't swing in a lot of ball. You're going to have to throw it over the plate to get them out.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Yeah, in and out, in and out. I see where you're coming from, Joe, and really nothing up and down.
No. Throw an occasional four-seamer and try to elevate it, but not very often.
Check out the defense for the Red Sox, presented by Defender, Duran, Rafaela, and Abreu in the outfield, left to right. Infield, Devers, Hamilton, Valdez, and Smith, third to first. McGuire behind the plate. Yoshida, the DH, and Winkowski's on the mound. Drill deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Second deck. A home run for Rice. Yankees lead 1-0.
Rice is showing that he likes his leadoff spot, his second home run of the year. And I was just going to say, Joe, there's nothing that puts last night to bed other than getting out and scoring some runs early. When your leadoff hitter goes deep, Michael, I got to guarantee you we're going to see some smiles from him right here. I mean, he shows his emotion, and sometimes you need that energy from a young kid.
There's a strike to Soto.
Yeah, that cutter didn't have a ton of break, just a little depth, to it. And for a lefty, they like it going down and in a little bit.
Yeah.
Soto pops it up. Devers puts it away.
Again, he missed the ball 2-1. Well, he got pretty much the same pitch and did not miss that one. A little higher. And you see that cutter. We talked the other day, probably the hardest pitch to hit when it's thrown well, but it is the easiest pitch to hit when it's missed because it just spins right out over the middle of the plate. See, absolutely no break to this whatsoever, other than the seed it broke out in right field.
Michael, when you were going over the defense, Hamilton and Valdez in the middle, neither one of them have strong arms. So I would think balls in the gap, and they're setting up relays that the Yankees would be really aggressive.
From the side, you see the barrel of the bat all of a sudden out in front. Slight uppercut. You get to circle the bases when you do it like that.
Two and one on Judge. So Rice has been everything that the Yankees could have hoped for since they called him up. Gives them good at bats. Now he's connecting for power. Count 3-1 on Judge. Judge hitless in his last 11 at bats.
The old Bernie Williams trick, something in my eye.
You don't think it could have been Sweat?
Possibly. You remember when Bernie used to step out all the time and act like something was his eye? I'm like, Bernie, you can't see anyway. You're wearing glasses.
3-1. High fly ball. Right field. Abreu puts it away. So here's Alex Verdugo. Verdugo's gone into a little bit of a slide. Last 17 games, he's 11 for 68. That's 162. And really went into this slump after he hit that big emotional home run against the Red Sox in the first game at Fenway Park a couple of weeks ago. Then the Yankees ran into like 8 out of 9 starters being left-handed. Maybe that disrupted his timing or swing, but trying to climb out of it. He had 3 hits against the Reds in the final game.
It's funny you say that, Michael, because you do have a tendency as a left-handed hitter when you face a ton of left-handers, you worry so much about that front shoulder that you start kind of diving to the outside corner, and it can kind of mess up your mechanics against righties.
One and two. Two home runs now for Rice. Second leadoff home run for the Yankees this year. Volpe had one on May 16th at Minnesota, which was his last home run. 2-2. And Winkowski deals. Swing and a miss. Verdugo down on strikes. Well, with the Yankees in the throes of a tough slump, they decided to let a child lead them. The rookie Ben Rice goes into the second deck. When it lands, it's 1-0 Yankees. get a bonus or a boost every single day, all summer long. Rafael Devers has bedeviled Cole throughout the years. Let's see how he does in this one. He fouls off the first pitch, 0-1 as we start the second inning. Devers hits .316 and 38 at-bats against Cole. 12 hits in 38. But 7 of the 12 hits have left the yard.
That's a lot of home runs off the pitcher, huh?
Off a great pitcher, too.
I always get worried, too, when really, really good hitters have bad nights. It's like they get due quicker than the average person. And, you know, last night Nestor pitched him extremely well, completely shut down Devers. That's the problem with losing last night's game.
Well, Devers down on strikes. What's the best pitcher that you did well again?
That's a good question. It wasn't Randy Johnson, that's for sure. You know, there were certain guys. I mean, I hit Greg Maddux because I would always try to hit early in the count. Tom Glavine, I remember. John Smoltz, I didn't mind hitting him, but I didn't hit him well. So it all depends on mostly right-hander guys that you just see the ball much better from the left side.
It's a shame that they were all on the same team.
Yeah. That just brought back good memories of the World Series, that's all.
You know, Joe owned Maddux, too. Hit a triple off him in the World Series, third inning.
I figured out it was a triple when I stepped on home plate and it was shaking. I guess, wow, he must have hit that one pretty far.
1-1. Grounded and past the diving Cabrera into right field for a base hit.
Garrett Cole gets a ground ball, but you see where Cabrera kind of shading towards first base. Ball ends up finding a hole.
You know, it's about as close to a shift as you can be without the shortstop being on the other side of the bag or the line that goes right down through home plate through second base. Normal shift, that might be an out.
Here's Yoshida. You know, Boone was breaking down what happened with Holmes in the ninth inning. It's kind of interesting, and you guys alluded to it when it was happening. The Red Sox were not going down quietly in any of the at-bats. They were fouling pitches off, making Holmes work, and all of a sudden, the pitch count is building up, and you're going to have a little lessening of stuff, and then he throws a pitch that Yoshida could hit. Fly ball left field. Verdugo will put it away for out number 2. Meredith, you spoke to Clay Holmes, right?
Yeah, Michael, and I asked him about that sinker he decided to throw, and I asked him if it was just a lack of execution or if he second guesses the pitch selection there, and he said, yeah, of course, you can Monday morning quarterback it and say, should I have thrown my slider in that situation? But ultimately, he had the most confidence in the sinker and felt as though there was the least likelihood to get slug on the sinker as opposed to the slider if he left it over the middle of the plate. That's why he decided to go with that pitch, but obviously a frustrating moment for Clay Holmes, 1 strike away from getting the Yankees the win in that one.
So I looked up some numbers on him this year. 277 slug on four-seamers. 647 on sinkers. He's a definite low ball hitter. And that's why I would think that Garrett Cole would give Yoshida a lot of problems today because he's going to throw that four-seamer up and get pop-ups to left field like he got.
Well, early in the game, you remember Nestor was, kind of keeping him in the middle of the field, up and away, and, he doesn't have the type of power to go dead center. But you get the ball down and in as a lefty here, you see what can happen. I don't think the pitch selection bothers me at all. I mean, the sinker's his best pitch, but I think sometimes you get late in the count and you start to aim it a little bit. You're not free and easy. You lose a lot of that downward motion, and then it becomes hittable for a lefty.
And late in the count, you've seen 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So you know what it's doing. If he gets it away from him, it's not a home run. It may be a single.
Right.
But it happens. I mean, you can't ask a guy to go away from his best pitch because a guy hits it either.
Right.
I mean, David Cohn used to say, he hits sliders, Coney. Whose slider? Not my slider.
Yeah, exactly.
1-2. And, the old saying, you can't hang a sinker. You can hang a slider. But the conundrum is the sinker's not really a swing and miss pitch, but the slider is. But you can hang it.
But the slider's a pitch that if you hang it, it's going to be easier to pull than necessarily that sinker.
Yeah.
And get it in the air.
1-2 on McGuire. Throw to first. Valdez dives back.
You know, I noticed the pitch clock there was at .01 when he threw to first. So he may have saw it and said, I'm throwing to first, because you look at Valdez, he doesn't have great speed. He's not a guy that runs a lot. Sometimes managers will put guys in motion with 2 strikes, 2 outs. But I think it was more of a time clock thing.
That's, it's a good point, because you pitchers are learning to use the clock to your advantage at times. You have to know when to know when to throw over, when to, try to get into the count, make things happen fast. I hated when pitchers got things rolling, and it just seems like you were in trouble over and over. So you would step out and try to slow things down. Well, the pitch clock does not allow you to do that now.
Up the middle and over the leaping Volpe into center field for base hit. Valdez will stop at second. A single for McGuire.
Only his second hit in 14 ABs off of Garrett Cole. His other hit was a home run, but it's a fastball he's trying to go up, and he got it really where he wanted it. McGuire just did a little better job. It's a flat swing through the zone. You got to have it on that high pitch, or you're going to swing and miss.
We talked about Yoshida's huge home run last night. Well, this was a huge pinch hit coming off the bench and getting a pinch hit last night off Holmes, because to start the inning, he was throwing hard with a lot of movement. You get a guy off the bench to get a base hit, really kind of set that inning up.
Devers kind of set the tone of the inning. His at bat, the first out was 10 pitches.
Yeah.
He fouled off a number of pitches. This guy's really good with the ball out over the plate against him, and has power the other way. Yankee Stadium's pretty big to left center, but he will drive balls that way if you leave it out over the plate.
2-0.
Feel like you got Trevino with the little backswing there.
Almost got somebody in the dugout. Can you imagine, though, you see these balls just ripped over in the dugout.
We got him coming back.
Back on the way back. The years and years we played over there with no nets, no nothing. I mean, balls is like pinballs over there.
That's why I left my gear on.
Not you were comfortable in it. It's a little protection.
You know what I never understood, Paul? How anybody allowed what happened at Dodgertown to happen.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys were sitting ducks in that dugout. There was no roof. There was no fence.
Nothing. And it's not, we were, 15, 20 feet from home plate?
Oh, my goodness.
It's just like a bench at a high school field. In spring training to boot, where everybody's late on fastballs, whistling them over your head.
We had a delay there one year when I was managing Miami.
Wow, he said he did not know. He certainly looked like he did. Wow, bases loaded on that walk.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want if you're a starting pitcher is long innings, because it will wear you out. See Matt Blake taking a little stroll to give him a break.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think I'm ringing him up. Sorry.
Was the umpire hitter friendly yesterday at third, too? We don't get that report. But I was saying, we had to stop the game because there was a beehive and the bees were all flying around.
Nice.
Someone irritated him or something.
It's a good mound visit right here in my mind, really. Garrett Cole looked frustrated. He thought he was out of the inning. And, this is a huge part of the game. You've jumped out to a lead. Now you've got bases loaded, but you've got 2 outs. You have to try to get through this inning.
Again, it's the bottom of the order. It's giving the Yankees a hard time.
Now, here's Rafaela, who has the most RBIs out of the number 9 spot of anybody in baseball.
You face a guy like him, too, in this situation. The importance of getting ahead with a quality pitch, because he only walks 3.5% of the time. So he's swinging.
He's 8 for 16 against the Yankees this year. And in his young career in 8 games, he's hitting .424 with 3 home runs and 6 ribbies against the Yankees. Bases loaded. Yankees lead 1-0. We're in the top of the second. 2 outs. Cole from the full windup. 0-2. Can't say held up there.
No, and that ball, that's the same one that we saw in the pregame to Eric Clement. Man, it really takes off. Like, you think it's going to be just a high strike, and then it's got that. I mean, I know it's not real, but it looks like it's going up and in. I could throw that again, or I could throw that knuckle curve down and away here. 98, getting a little heated up here.
It's a big at bat. You know, you got that extra velocity in your pocket for these big at bats, and you would think he would go to something going away from him now.
Swing and a miss, got him. Dialed it up to 97 to get out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, and the bases are left loaded. Go to the bottom of the second. Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Knock it out of the park every day with FanDuel. Right now, all customers get a bonus or a boost every single day, all summer long. By Buick. Visit your local Tri-State Buick dealers. And by the New York Lottery. Get out there and play. Oh, and Anthony Volpe leading off. We see some of the shortstops through the years in this rivalry. And here's Anthony to start off the second inning. Volpe, Grisham, and Trevino against Josh Winkowski. Ground ball and a diving stop by Smith, and he flips to Winkowski, who beats Volpe to the bag, 1 away.
Now, I always thought Dominic Smith had a pretty good glove, and I look at some of the defensive metrics, and they're not so good. But this is a nice little play, going to opposite of his glove. Dives, makes it a nice little flip. Always thought he was really good at picking balls at first. Errant throws, too.
Anthony Volpe, I mean, he needs that first at bat to a base hit to get rolling, just to get over every once in a while you feel like there's 16, 17 fielders out there. You just can't find a hole, and then you get frustrated and you try to do a little bit too much your second and third at bat, and it just complicates things.
I mean, you think about this silly game. I mean, that's a foot away from being hit. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right? And when it's going bad, you don't get that extra foot.
It's a foot to the right. It's a double.
Yes.
Remember that day? I was hitting the ball so good. I had like 4 or 5 line drives everywhere. I had no hits. I started screaming, who else wants one? Zim, that's when Zim told me to go home and start working concrete.
Yeah. That was not just a one-day thing either.
That was a one day I remember. See the stuff you missed up here in the booth, Michael, that we were doing down there?
I know. I was clueless.
We were truly out of our minds down there. You know that? But you know what? When it all came together, we won, right?
Yeah, you can have fun when you're winning 4 championships in 5 years. Grisham goes down on strikes.
You know, Andy Pettit, he had one of the better ones, too. He was giving up. This is a really good changeup, which he does not throw a lot of, but you see the sink and the run, and it kind of looks like his sinker. And a little fumble.
Yeah.
But he was giving up line drives all over the place. And all of a sudden, he just kind of screamed towards his fielders, I'm trying. I'm really trying out here.
Pitches high to Trevino.
This game can do some funny things to you.
I usually had the night off when Pettit was throwing. He threw that cutter so much that, you know, nothing was really coming to right field much. I'm trying.
Trevino, a little bit of a slump. 2 hits in his last 26 at-bats over his last 9 games. Now, Wells had a good game yesterday, but Aaron does not like to play catcher's day game after night game, so Wells is sitting, and Trevino, who I think Cole likes to pitch to, he's behind the plate today. Last year, in his Cy Young Award year, Cole settled in pitching to Ben Rortvedt. Really liked pitching to Rortvedt.
If you look at his year, he pitched pretty good to everybody.
Yep. If there was a pitcher that didn't like pitching to you, Joe, did you go up and go, well, what's your problem?
No.
Never?
I didn't, but I tried. I tried to get on the same page. I mean, there were a few. And I tell you what, it's really hard on a manager when a pitcher wants a certain catcher.
Wow, they whipped it around the infield. McGuire thought that was strike 3. Instead, it's ball 4, and Trevino goes to first.
That's kind of showing up the ump a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, I think when we show the replay, it's showing up the ump, too. This looked like a pretty good pitch. But, you know, when you're struggling, you just hope something good happens. Ball kind of really right there, but every once in a while, a movement, maybe it was just a good frame, huh?
I think it was a pretty good pitch.
Cabrera takes a strike.
You know, I always worry sometimes on these days, you know, umpires are human too, and they're back there the whole time, and it's hot, that their zone might be bigger on hot days.
Mm-hmm. Always worried on travel days. You know, the day game travel days, the umpires want to get out of town. In the old days, well, they weren't graded. It just seemed like the corner just floated farther and farther away as the game went on.
One and two on Oswaldo. You know, Oswaldo got off to such a good start, but then his playing time became somewhat inconsistent, and now he has 19 hits in his last 100 at-bats.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you know, we were talking last night, his production at the end of the lineup at the beginning of the year was huge. I mean, he was driving in runs, had a huge home run off Corbin Burns, and then, when you slow down with your plate, you kind of get out of a rhythm, and it's very hard for a young player, especially that's used to playing every day, to play this role.
And that Burns home run, Paul, that's the benchmark. Since that point, 19 of 100, hitting 190 over 38 games.
Yeah, I think it's hard for young players to be role players. It has to be a guy that really knows how to prepare and has done it for a long period of time.
Hit sharply and through for a base hit. Trevino will go to third. Abreu flips the ball into the infield. The base hit for Cabrera. First and third, 2 outs.
You know, that's actually really big that it got to 3-2 and Trevino was on the run because he's able to pull it in the hole, but it gets Trevino to third base. Mm-hmm. And, you know, some balls are hit so hard, it's hard to score from Yankee Stadium from second if it's hit to right. So now it'll be much easier for him to score. reads it himself. He knows that he can go. He takes a peek at the right fielder. Just good base running. And now you got a hole between first and second. DJ likes to go that way.
Get Spectrum One, fast and reliable internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free unlimited mobile line. Visit Spectrum.com today.
Andrew Bailey has a talk with Winkowski. So you see the tough numbers with LeMahieu so far this year, hitting just 175, 9 home runs. But when you dig deeper into the numbers, those aren't good either. And the Yankees are waiting for him to get right.
Well, you look at that screen. I mean, I can't believe defensively you play DJ LeMahieu like this with a runner in scoring position. The whole right side of the infield totally open.
Well, obviously there are numbers to show that that's how you should play, and maybe the plan on him is to throw that sinker in a lot, try to get him to roll over to the left side.
And there's a strike, 1-1.
Tell you what, I don't think he's meaning to throw that cutter there, but
yeah, kind of locked him up.
He has not been extremely sharp with his location.
The Yankees really want to put up some crooked numbers, give their pitching staff a little breathing room. Everything has been, every pitch means so much because the offense has not produced. You know, there was a stat that came out today. When you take out Judge and Soto over the last 20 games, the rest of the lineup's hitting .202. Now, the Major League average is .242, which isn't good, but the rest of the lineup is hitting .202 when you take out Judge and Soto. 3-1 on LeMahieu. Ben Rice on deck. And that one's upstairs. Didn't come close. Now it's going to load the bases. Ben Rice had a home run in the first. Check out the exit velocity presented by Spectrum. These numbers should be very good because it was into the second deck. 105.1 off the bat. Travel 390 feet. No doubter.
The overhead view there, Michael.
That'll work. 105. I tell you what, these last three hitters, big for Garrett Cole because the first two outs were pretty quick and he's coming off a long inning. Mm-hmm. Now you extend the inning, give him a little more rest. Put the pressure on this Red Sox defense.
There's a strike to Rice. The righty deals. Quickly 0-2. And the pitch. Upstairs, 1-2. Well, all three of us want to send out happy birthday wishes to Willie Randolph.
70 today.
He's 70.
Willow 70?
Grouper. I used to call him Grouper.
Wow.
He don't look 70.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't act 70 either. Runs around on the field.
Swing and a miss. Rice down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors, and the Yankees leave the bases loaded. Go to the third. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Optimum, where local is big time. Well, the third inning is brought to you by Unity by Hard Rock. The three of us are going to be spending the night at the Unity by Hard Rock.
Nice. You get free gift certificates, is that what it is?
It's always about free with you, huh?
Well, I've been hanging around you a long time. You know that?
Top of the order against Garrett Cole, Duran, Hamilton, and Abreu. Saw this stat about Duran, which is kind of amazing. He's the first player in American League history to have 100 hits, 10 triples, 10 home runs, 20 stolen bases before the All-Star break. Only one player in the National League ever did it. Jose Reyes did in 2008.
Well, the triples are what's so hard to come by. Triples by the All-Star break.
Well, Fenway's a good park with that weird corner out in center field. You can get some triples.
But the interesting thing about him is he hits the ball the other way all the time. So
I think he gets his triples because he runs like his hair's on fire all the time.
He's fast. I noticed last night just watching him. He's fast.
That one is looped into shallow right, and Cabrera covers a lot of ground and makes the play.
Well, the Yankees have pounded him in this whole series, trying to keep him from driving the ball the other way. Even Nestor was throwing him pitches that were inside, and then he was dropping down with that slider with the big sweeper. But you do not want to let him hit the ball the other way because it seems like it's a double every time at least.
Here's David Hamilton. And that one is lined to right field. Going back is Judge. And he's going to have to play it up against the wall. Hamilton motoring to second with a double.
Aaron Judge tried to play this like he had a chance, a changeup that really didn't have any movement away, just kind of smoked. But Aaron Judge kind of played it like he had a shot at it, so to try to trick the runner, possibly get a play at second base, but no chance.
It was one thing that I remember playing with Larry Walker, how good he was at that. He didn't act like he was camped.
Yeah. Well, he was a good player for a lot of years, huh?
Great arm.
Hamilton was about 30 feet off the bag at second, dancing around, heads back.
Well, that's what you see, too. You see a lot of dancing on their part, trying to distract the pitcher because, ultimately, if you can get the pitcher to make a mistake to a hitter, it can lead to a couple of runs.
Now, the Yankees have made a concerted effort in these first two games to avoid what happened in that Sunday night game against the Red Sox with the 9 stolen bases. Quicken their pace, slide steps, constant attention.
The big thing at second base is making them stop. You don't want the guys to get that walking lead or the little hop into it. If they have to stop, it's really hard to steal third base when you're flat-footed.
Now, you were telling me Larry Rothschild had a way about him. He didn't really like slide steps, right?
No, he wanted a pitcher to be like a 1-3-5 and under all the time to give the catcher a chance on 90% of the base runners. To have one consistent stretch, one consistent windup, one consistent time, because it would make you better with your pitches as well. Yeah, he was not a big fan of having a 1-2 and then being a 1-5, because he thought when you tried the 1-2, your lower half would be in front of your arm, and you'd leave the ball up and make mistakes.
Throw to second. Just got in, and Volpe is pointing to the Yankee dugout. He thinks he might have gotten him.
That looked like it was a timing play, maybe that came from the catcher, because Garrett Cole did not peek at Volpe at short. This play is pretty close. If he gets the throw a little lower, he's probably got it.
Yeah.
But that puts a thought in his head. I got to be a little bit careful, and that sometimes can be just as good as picking him off.
Somehow he stayed connected to the bag.
what's so important on that tag? Sometimes that old swipe tag, you know, the horizontal swipe tag will knock that hand off the base. I mean, that tag went straight down to try to keep him there almost.
Well, that's the quickest way to put the tag down, is to come straight down, and that's what they're taught. But you'll see sometimes they'll do a hard swipe tag, and they'll knock their hand off.
Yeah,
I saw it happen to Christopher Morel the other day. Knocked his hand right off the back.
Runner goes. Popped up. He's going to have to head back. And Grisham makes the play for the second out. Hamilton had a big jump.
Yeah, he did. That's a big break for the Yankees. This ball was put in play. Hamilton was kind of jockeying out there with whole at bat, and he got caught. Like Joe said, he was not flat-footed. Had a great jump. Now, I think if you're a pitcher, Joe, I mean, you've got 2 outs. If he wants to steal third, let him. I mean, you get this hitter. There's no way he's going to score.
And you better focus on Rafael Devers, because what he's done in his career off you. 12 hits for 39 at-bats, 7 home runs.
Devers struck out in the second inning. He's 0 for 8 over his last 8.
Garrett hasn't been too happy with the strike zone. I don't think Aaron Boone is either. I think home plate umpire Alfonso Marquez is kind of hearing it from the bench. Some of the stare downs by Garrett Cole.
Lined into right field. It's a base hit in front of Judge. Here comes Hamilton. Here comes the throw. He's safe. An RBI single for Devers. It's a tie game.
I mean, everything was done well. Judge stayed back on the ball. The ball was hammered, too, so you're going to have a shot at the plate. Now, Hamilton runs so well.
No, here's a case of him just kind of outrunning the baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that team speed does. And you're talking about Aaron Judge. Got rid of it quick, a perfect one hop to home, and you still can't get him.
For Devers, it was his 1,000th career hit, and he drives in a run as David Hamilton crosses the plate.
You ever find it, Joe, that, you know, pitchers, this type of pitcher, the best pitchers in the game, that they don't pitch around guys. I mean, even with a past history of this, they feel like they can still get them out every time. Huh?
Runner goes, throw to second. It goes past Volpe, but backing up is Cabrera. Stolen base for Devers. He went on first move.
He went even before that. He had that little jump into it, too, that you see the Yankees do a lot. And he got a great jump, and they didn't really have much of a chance here. Ball kind of sailed. He didn't really finish his throw. Good job of Cabrera backing up.
Two 2-0 on Valdez. Single to right center in the second. Three and 0.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at this throw again by Trevino. He doesn't really finish his throw. You see his shoulders are pretty level, but you'd like to see him finish a little bit more. He kind of recoils back, and that's why the ball sails a little bit. Follow through like a pitcher would.
And a walk to Valdez.
Garrett Cole taking a stroll around the mound. I mean, he looks frustrated, and now Matt Blake going to go out there.
It's a hot day. He's thrown 58 pitches.
Think about how hard Devers hit that ball to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge threw it 95.9 miles per hour to home plate. But Hamilton's in the top 7% in sprint speed and just outran the ball. It's the fastest and the hardest throw for Judge all year. Big man might have 100 on the mound.
Again, I mean, he does everything right. You judge it. You know you can't get it, so you stay back so you have all your weight going towards the plate. Ball's right on the money. It just, again, there's too much speed. Obviously, with 2 outs, there was no hesitation from Hamilton. As soon as the ball was hit, he was on his way.
Rafael Devers hit that ball 106 miles per hour. couple of tough innings in a row for Garrett. He's almost to 60 pitches already.
Here's Yoshida against Cole. You know, Garrett's numbers as a Yankee against the Red Sox, not as good as you would think. Now, he's 8-5 in 13 starts, but a 5.40 ERA and 105 starts otherwise, not against the Red Sox. Against everybody else, it's 2.91.
So am I allowed to say bigger sample size?
You are.
Things even out when you have a big sample size?
0-2 on Yoshida.
The ball almost looks like it goes, stops, and then just goes straight down.
Yeah, that's a big breaker.
Holds up. The count 1-2. First and second. Tie game. 2 men out. Top of the third. Cole deals. Sky the other way out of play.
One thing about this Red Sox team, they're very good at fouling pitches off. And getting into long at-bats, and eventually a pitcher, if you get in a long enough at-bat, is probably going to make a mistake. Saw it last night on Holmes. We've seen it tonight on Cole.
That one is looped, and a base hit to short left field. Devers will score. Moving to third is Valdez. It's a bloop RBI single for Yoshida, and the Red Sox lead 2-1. Couldn't have thrown it any better.
Well, some things you just can't fight in this game, and when a ball's hit like this, you made your pitch, you did everything right, you jammed him, you end up giving up a 2-out run scoring hit. That barely hit the outfield grass.
Well, the Yankees have to be a little concerned. The high pitch count, the heat, as he's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning. Here's Reese McGuire.
Well, the one way to combat that is to go have a long inning yourself. Sit and hit for about 15, 20 minutes.
Everybody feels better about things if that.
Yes.
One and one to McGuire, who had a single his first time up.
You know, Paul, I can't stop laughing inside when I see all these base runners do the false break. Like at first base, it's like it's almost like Little League. Sometimes you're trying to figure out what the infielders are going to do and if they're going to throw through. Like, there he goes.
Blooped again into left field. Coming on is Verdugo. It's going to fall for a base hit. 1 run scores. Going to third and getting in there is Yoshida. Another bloop single and an RBI for McGuire. And the Red Sox lead 3-1.
Well, it's all smiles on the Red Sox. I mean, they're just dunking him to death here. I look back at the one at bat here that was hit hard, and that was Devers, a guy that you could possibly pitch around, but everything else, nothing's been hit hard. Verdugo, a heads-up play here. I thought he had him at third base. DJ was playing out a little bit where he couldn't reach back and get him. I think Yoshida got in there.
Yeah, he didn't want to get the short hop. He went to get it so he could catch it in the air.
He's not getting roughed up, but at some point you would think the Yankees have to get somebody up in the bullpen because you can't have a guy who's 4 games off the IL throw 45 pitches in an inning. Runner goes, and that one's fouled away off the bat of Smith.
See, at some point I think the Yankees have to run some type of play, and I don't know if it's the crash play, and you got to put signals every time they do something because they know who's covering and who's not. Because you don't have a fast runner at third base. You don't have a fast runner at first base. If the guy goes to third, the shortstop vacates and comes in and throws him out at home. But you can't, to me, you can't just let him keep running. Because Yoshida saw that no one covered when he did the false break. What does Cora do? He runs him.
Foul back. False start there by McGuire.
And DJ has to jockey the runner at third so he can't get a big lead.
I was just going to say, he was halfway down the third baseline. I mean, it's making things too easy to be aggressive on the bases.
Makes it too easy to get in where you can score multiple runs because guys are in scoring position. I mean, you almost become like a second baseman, you know, trying to jockey the runner. You have to do it at third base. And you get so far off the line, it's hard to do it.
26 pitches for Cole this inning. Swing and a miss, so he finishes with 27. But the Red Sox score 3. They leave 2 on. It's 3-1 Boston. The coach of the national champion UConn Huskies threw out the first pitch, a little bit high, but he reached it on the fly. Takes a picture with Aaron Boone and his dad, Unity by Hard Rock, brings us to the bottom of the third as the Red Sox lead 3-1. And you know what? We are joined in the booth by the head coach of UConn, Danny Hurley. And Danny, I think you want to make this a habit. You were here last year after a championship, another one this year, and now you're back.
I'm real superstitious. People have read that about me.
You know what I was worried about? Yeah. That you'd be doing this interview maybe with the Dodgers, so you chose to stay home, right? You didn't take the Laker job.
Yeah.
You know, that talk radio, it doesn't take controversy immediately.
Yeah, I stopped talking about that. All the Lakers fans, they've been like trolling me. Like I can't. They don't want me doing any more media because they don't like me.
But you know what? You followed your heart and you stayed at a place that you really love.
Yeah, we went through the exercise. I mean, when the Lakers come calling, you keep an open mind, and as much as you love UConn and just what we've been able to do, you got to listen. And it was we were torn though.
You lost a couple players in the first round? I think I was in your office about 2 months ago, right? And you were meeting with players as I was in there.
Yeah, they were quick meetings.
Yeah.
Those are with the guys that went, both went top 6.
Wow.
So, yeah, we had 4 guys drafted, 2 top 6.
Chop toward first. It stays fair, fielded by Smith. 1 away. But that's got to be a good feeling for you. Yes, you lose them, and that's going to hurt your team. But, boy, you want players to succeed in your program.
Yeah, I mean, beyond it, just helping recruiting and keeping your fans engaged, it's just everyone won at the table. Like those players helped us win the championships, and then they were able to do their career thing. So it's like there were a lot of tables at the draft where there was only one winner, and not us.
So how do you reload? Because you're not allowed to rebuild.
Yeah.
Well, that is not an Aaron Judge hit, but he'll take it.
The softest exit velocity of Aaron Judge's career for a base hit. I'll tell you that right now. Little check swing. And this surprises me. It did not hit the crease of the grass and kind of roll foul.
Thank Danny Cunningham for that, right?
Yes.
Head grounds crew, keeping that line tilted a little bit so it goes back towards fair territory. Nice thick grass.
So I'm wondering, Danny, we're sitting here, Joe Girardi, a world champion manager. Do you think that great coaching / managing translates to any sport? Like, could you go into a dugout and do what you do?
Yeah, I think the leadership piece and the psychology, the motivation, the relationship building, like, just all that stuff, like leading men through, the ups and downs of, of these seasons. I think, I think I'd be better football coach than basketball, actually.
Why?
My intensity, I think it's more, it fits these football guys.
1-0 count on Verdugo. Judges at first. Is it tougher in college now than when you were with Wagner and Rhode Island? Because, the NIL and everybody's there 1 year and they're done. You can't really build a guy and build a team. How tough is it?
Well, it's harder, but it's not. You should still be able to do it.
That one's hit deep to center field. Going back, Rafaela on the track at the wall. See ya! A 2-run home run for Verdugo, and the game is tied at 3.
Well, if he ever gets his home plate, Joe, we'll talk to his 10th home run. This is quite a slow trot hanging out there. Wow.
Well, there's always a lot of emotion when it's against your old team, that's for sure.
Yeah, Danny O'Neill's very superstitious. He's going to keep you in the booth.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the hardest hit ball we've had in a month. You better stay here. Maybe move in.
I got my dragon underwear on. I'm rewarding them at the game.
Now, explain that. You keep that same underwear during the whole March Madness, right?
Yeah, I only use 3 during the season. And, like one for the Big East, one for non-conference, and then like one for tournament play.
That's really nice to know.
Yeah. Now, let's really dive deep. What if they get holes during the year? You still keep them on?
Yeah, they got to finish the season.
Whether they want to or not.
We bring a hand washer, and then we use the hair dryers in the bathroom.
Nice.
You control the controllables.
I feel like I know way too much about you already.
People like authentic.
As you watch that swing for Verdugo, again, Joe, dead center field. That used to be like maybe, but these guys seem to know it off the bat now. And quite a bat flip and a slow trot.
Volpe down on strikes, route number 2.
And I tell you, this one swing put the Yankees right back in the game. Behind it.
Must have been the shoes, Michael. He didn't have those shoes on yesterday.
No.
He had the red, white, and blues.
So 2 away, here's Trent Grisham. Now, does any pair of underwear ever make it to the next season, or you just reset?
You do the analytics on it. You go through it.
Very nice.
And you play the numbers.
If I'd have known this stuff in my little league coaching days of my son, we probably would have fared a lot better.
You see these guys though, like I don't know, they wear the same things to work every day. It's like one less choice, and I think it soothes me a little bit because I'm all wild. I'm wound up pretty tight.
There's a bunt back to Winkowski. Throw to first. They got him. Danny couldn't be happier for you. Congratulations. 2 in a row. Let's make it 3. We got a date next year.
Yeah, we'll be back with the 3-peat.
And the 3 Dragon underwear.
And I'm gonna keep wearing the same stuff.
Wow.
That's Danny Hurley. With the game's biggest events, the action begins with the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July 15th. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then catch the 94th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. 3-3 game. Had a good time with Danny Hurley, coach of the national champion UConn Huskies. And there's a strike to Rafaela. I don't know if you realize it, Paul. He's got O'Neillian intensity.
When he said, I'd rather be a football coach, I think that you get that even by his conversations. But, Michael, it's unbelievable how you can get to the dirt really quick. I mean, we're talking about the man's underwear before in 20 seconds into the interview.
Well, we did a little center stage up here.
Exactly.
Now, he did bring up the underwear before I started to dig deep.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we were having fun here. We are a big home run from Verdugo, no doubt about it. Back to a tie game. Garrett Cole needs a quick inning at some point here, huh, Joe?
Ooh, yeah, and that was an outstanding breaking ball. And sometimes, like that inning, that home run, it allows Garrett to reset and get his stuff back. I mean, he was not hit hard. He had made some really good pitches and just had some bad fortune. Zip, zip now.
You know, I always wondered, how baseball's kind of gotten rid of the over-the-top curveball, like pretty much close to that knuckle curve. And I always thought that the up-and-down curveball was much harder to pick up because the spin's much similar to a four-seamer than the slider and the cutter and everything. And it just, I don't know, I guess it's just easier to hit or something. You don't get the velocity on it.
Well, the velocity is so important. They are throwing them, but they're just throwing them so hard they don't have time to have a ton of movement. I see a lot of pitches that are called sliders.
Yeah.
They're throwing 89, 88, 90 miles an hour. They go straight down. And to me, that's a curveball. Mm-hmm. But because they throw it so hard, it doesn't have, like, the depth that we're accustomed to talking about when we talk about breaking balls, curveballs.
And I'm talking like guys from the past, Dennis Martinez over there. I mean, big curveball. Bruce Hurst, big curveball.
Okay, Doc Gooden, huge curveball. Nolan Ryan's curveball. I mean, everybody knows how hard Nolan Ryan threw and Doc. But their curveballs, I mean, you just couldn't even, you'd flinch when they came out of their hand.
I mean, guys that come to mind for me now is a guy like Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah.
He's got the big one. But he incorporated a slider that they've kind of run together, and I don't think it's as big as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Throw him out.
1-2 on Duran, 1 out. Here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. 2 away. Well, welcome the Yankees back from the All-Star break on Friday, July 19th, and celebrate Garrett Cole's 2023 Cy Young Award-winning season. It's Garrett Cole Cy Young bobblehead night, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Garrett Cole Cy Young bobblehead, courtesy of T-Mobile. Tickets going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com.
Where did you guys put your George Costanza bobbleheads?
Mine was ordered to come home. My son down in Florida he's a big Seinfeld fan, so I usually give all my stuff to Michael because he's got 2 kids. He can't go home with one, but I had to take it yesterday.
Yeah, one kid's very upset. Thanks, Uncle Paul.
Yeah, blame it on me. Who's mad at me, Callie or Charlie?
Well, the one that doesn't get it. They're at camp right now. One of them's going to be upset in about 2 weeks. 1-2 on Hamilton.
And you'll just throw Paul right under the bus, right?
Oh, absolutely. Daddy's not taking a hit.
Especially when I'm not around there to protect myself.
Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Garrett Cole as he strikes out the side. Rejuvenated by the home run by Verdugo. By Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Cadillac scoreboard, it's 3-3, Yankees and the Red Sox. This is kind of an old-time Yankee-Red Sox game. You forget that there's a pitch clock. It's a slow-moving game, but exciting. A lot of stuff going on. Bottom third of the Yankee order, Jose Trevino will lead off against Josh Winkowski. Line drive down the left field line. It is a base hit. It gets past Duran. It goes all the way to the wall. Trevino will have himself a leadoff double.
A welcome sight for Trevino. He's been struggling at the plate lately. Back in the lineup today. He starts off with a walk and now a double down the line. Two-seamer in, but two-seamer as it's running in horizontal with no sink, which gives the hitter a chance to put it on the barrel, and he did. Lined it up to the wall.
Also gives you a chance to keep it in the air instead of beating it in the ground.
Bunted, third base side, fielded there by Devers, and he makes the throw and gets the out as Trevino moves to third.
I love the play. Now you're set up for an easy run, but also you put Devers in a position where he had to make a good play, and which he did. But this ball could have easily been fumbled or thrown wrong or something. A lot of bad things can happen when you put pressure on a defense that's not real sure of itself.
Well, we've seen some of his inaccuracy throwing. We saw one last night where he almost airmailed the first baseman. That one almost got away from Dom Smith. He was playing really shallow.
Infield is in for the Red Sox. Did he go? Nope.
DJ's got to look out, get that ball away from him. That ball's running in hard. He's thrown 3 or 4 in there to DJ just like that. Hard ground ball through the middle.
One and one. Brendan Bernardino is warming for the Red Sox.
DJ's had to duck about 3 times. That's a breaking ball.
Yeah,
go on the heater, but throwing everything up and in on him, breaking balls, fast balls.
Grounded and grabbed by the shortstop, Hamilton. Checks the runner back, makes the throw to first. 2 outs as Trevino stays at third.
Well, with Trevino's speed, you're going to see the ball through, which we did the other night. We went on contact, but DJ not able to get the ball through the infield. Now it goes on to Ben Rice.
And they're not going to let him face the righty Winkowski. Cora comes out, will signal for Bernardino. It'll be the lefty against the lefty with a runner on third in a 3-3 game. Yankees and the Red Sox on a Saturday right here on Yes. Ride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And today's picture was submitted by Kathleen. Juan Soto made her son's year by giving him a ball at the stadium this week. I bet he did, as a fan for life. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. DJ LeMahieu doesn't usually show much frustration, but he is not happy with that at bat where he couldn't get the runner in. He's fighting it, you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, these are veteran at-bats that you love to see. You know, a runner on third base, DJ LeMahieu, obviously ex-batting champion, knows how to get the job done. It's just been a fight and a grind this year so far.
You look at numbers by Bernardino, fantastic ERA. There are a lot of walks. And a lot of times when you're walking people, you're giving up runs, but he's been able to keep them from scoring. Sinker, curveball mostly, occasional cutter. Kind of got that three-quarter arm slot, Paul, what you lefties love, right?
Something about lefties when they drop down a little bit, you just pick up the ball so late, and you always talk about picking up the ball late. You don't have time. It's like adds miles per hour on their fastball.
Well, I mean, it's really coming from behind you.
1-2. Rice with a home run and a strikeout. Runner at third. 2-2. Bernardino, 1.17 ERA. 30 and 2/3 innings are the most in the American League without allowing a home run. 2-2.
Tell you what, I know we talked about it yesterday, but he does not give an inch to lefties.
Yeah, and it's very tough here because you know you're not getting to the ball inside, so you have a tendency to want to open up to get it, which then that slider it's an impossibility to hit.
And the 2-2. Driven into center field and deep. Going back, Rafaela. He has room and he makes the play for the final out. The leadoff double by Trevino wasted as he's stranded at third. Decisions presented by Sage.
Well, Garrett Cole struck out the side last inning. Rafaela got that really good knuckle curveball. Jaron Duran, I'm going to give you a high cutter on the edge. And Hamilton, I'm just going to throw the fastball by you. So he got 3 strikeouts on 3 different pitches.
Yeah, that last fastball, 95. So he's kept his velocity. And as a catcher, do you know and still can feel the life on that fastball?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
You can see it. And you can tell by the swings. I mean, one of the things that Don Zimmer told me, that hitters will tell you what a pitcher's got.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, when they start fouling off a lot of pitches, they're losing a little bit.
Right.
You know, the first time they go through and they go right through a lineup, strike out, you know, quick outs, easy outs. And then all of a sudden they start fouling off a lot of pitches. That means the stuff isn't the same.
Right.
Or the hitters aren't recognizing it the same, and you got to pay attention.
So 7 strikeouts on the day. Now he passes Vic Raschi for 20th place on the franchise list. Cole now has 834 strikeouts with the Yankees. Next up on the list, David Cone with 888. Driven deep to right field, but foul. And we have a parade of famous people in the booth.
That was awesome. We were just talking about Kirk Cousins the other day after the quarterback show, and I looked behind me, and Kirk Cousins is here.
And he said he wanted to always see Yankee Stadium, and his cousin Jake pitches for the Yankees, so he flew in today just to watch the Yankees play at Yankee Stadium.
Pretty neat.
Good guy.
Big tenor, Michael.
Yeah.
Big tenor.
You guys stick together.
Yeah, we do.
He's a Michigan State guy. He's not a Buckeye, but I still like him. You know, it's just the way it is. I told him, I said, when you got hurt, my fantasy football team just tanked, and he pulled, showed me a scar. I said, I guess my fantasy football is not that important.
Yeah, I think the Vikings were more upset than you.
Possibly. I take it hard, though.
Another good fastball.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kept his velocity. See the 4-seamer? His fastball was the best pitch in baseball last year when they go by run value. Pretty good today, too.
When you see a hitter, to me, swing through a 4-seamer underneath it, it still has life. It's not kind of just losing velocity at the plate.
It has that ride.
Yeah.
It's tough for hitters. Kirk Cousins had an ugly zipper on his.
Yeah.
Ow.
That's why I lost him in fantasy football. So I'm going to give him a pass, free pass.
We talked about it the other day, as Paul mentioned. If you ever get a chance to watch that quarterback series, which was on Netflix, they follow 3 quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins comes off as so likable.
Mm-hmm.
Time called by Devers. One. High fly ball. Deep right. Judge back. Track. Wall. See ya. Into the bleachers. 4-3. Boston.
Eddie, he's one of the superstars of the game as far as hitting. And I mentioned this to you earlier, Joe. There comes a point in time, you're Garrett Cole. You're one of the better pitchers in baseball that you just can't let this guy continually beat you, huh?
No, and there's nobody on. I understand why he went off, and it looks like it's the end of his day, and he's probably not real happy about it. Probably wants to finish this inning, but he's 8 home runs and 41 at-bats. He's a great fastball hitter.
Well, they hurt him in the 3rd. When they pitched him, he got an RBI single, and then he gives the Red Sox the lead back with that home run against Cole on this pitch.
Yeah, it's supposed to be inside, and it just leaked enough. You see Garrett Cole, he missed it. The one thing you don't like as a pitcher, you're frustrated enough, is when somebody kind of puts on an act. But Devers is, he's done that since he's shown up in Boston. But that was an absolute bomb.
Yeah, I didn't think, I was wondering, is it going out when he first hit it because he hit it so high, but then carried a long ways. It's a hot day. You see Garrett doesn't like the reaction. And I think there was a little something between them on the first curveball that was called on him. And he didn't like it. It took a long time with Alfonso Marquez, the umpire. And then you get that.
Well, the Yankees go to the bullpen with Valdez coming up. Cole's day is over. Tim Hill on in relief of Cole and deals a strike to Manuel Valdez.
Yeah, you see the 30.2 innings, 2/3, but only 14 strikeouts. He's an extreme ground ball guy. You see with a little bit of upshoot in the sink, and he's got the good breaking ball. Think about going from 97 to 87 with the fastballs. Different arm angles, different arms. And they have 8 left-handed hitters in their lineup.
One and two on Valdez.
Two strikes in a row he didn't call.
Yeah.
And he is really, really hitter friendly today.
Looped into shallow left center field, and Volpe on the run to make the play. Well, Cole has always had problems with Rafael Devers, and he did not like this demonstration. And Cole follows him around, looks at him. Now, in fairness, though, because we're going to be fair, I can see why Cole doesn't like it. Yankees don't have a kick coming because Verdugo took about 3 days to go around on his home run. So it's all fair in love and war.
Well, it's part of the game now. I mean, in the old days, you did that. You know, you didn't want to go to the plate the next time because something was.
Or didn't want to be the next guy hitting either.
Exactly.
I think there's got to be an unbelievable amount of frustration. Gerrit Cole's one of the great pitchers in baseball, if not the best pitcher right now. They can't get this guy out.
No. I mean, he's such a great fastball hitter. And you think about Gerrit Cole, I mean, he had the highest rated pitch of any pitch, fastball, curveball, slider. It was his fastball last year, his four-seamer. And he hits them.
Again, we're going to watch Verdugo. Talk about a slow trot.
And a bat flip.
Yeah.
Again, everybody does it, so you really can't be upset when the other team does it because it just happened to you. It took him 32 seconds to get around the bases on that home run, so I'm sure the Red Sox noticed that, and Devers did as well. We're halfway through, Red Sox up by 1. Name That Yankee, brought to you by Prevagen, the #1 pharmacist recommended memory support brand. So here we go, 229 wins, 3.30 ERA, 2,416 strikeouts with the Yankees from 71 to 78. The Red Sox 71 to 78, and then the Yankees 79 to 80. I got it.
I do too.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
You're on your game?
I got it before I saw the clues.
Nice.
Well, Devers' home run has given the Red Sox a 4-3 lead. Now Soto will lead off against Bernardino in the bottom of the 5th. Grounded to first, Smith. Flips to Bernardino. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th.
What'd you do different when you DH compared to playing the outfield?
You know, you would try to get as many swings as you could in between innings and try not to just sit there because you kind of get lethargic. But I just wasn't good at it. I mean, when you get used to it in a rhythm, you're fine. Chili Davis had an unbelievable routine. That's why he was a great DH. But, you know, for an everyday player, DHing is not the easiest thing to do.
Would you sit on the bench when the team was on defense so you felt like you were a part of the defense?
You know what? Yeah, you kind of run around and just kind of keep. The last thing you want to do is just sit for a long period of time. It's almost like a rain delay. You're not into the game. And again, you know, I used to talk about how hard pinch hitting was. It's just like everything happened too quick if you're not up and moving, and that's what I felt like DHing was if you didn't stay active the whole game.
Judge reached on that slow roller down the third baseline, and he needed that because he was 0 for his last 12 before that one. And then he scored on Verdugo's home run to tie the game at 3. Now the Red Sox lead 4-3.
And guys, I actually spoke to Aaron Judge about DHing yesterday. He was in the lineup as the DH, and he said he much prefers to play in the field. The toughest thing for him, Paul, kind of what you mentioned, is trying to stay game ready throughout the course of 9 innings. The Yankees have a couple bikes right down from the dugout that they can stay warm that way. They also have some weights and batting cages, so it's a little easier, especially at the home ballpark, for him to stay ready. There's not a lot of traveling involved to get back out to that dugout, but he said a couple spots before he comes up in the order, he likes to make sure he takes about 4, 5, 6 swings at least to make sure he's ready to get in the batter's box.
Laces a single to right field right there to pick up his second hit of the afternoon.
Well, again, I mean, he's so tall and he's able to hit that ball away, and he just rifles this to right field. See him behind the ball, how deep that ball got. It was almost in the catcher's glove.
Yeah, if you were to tell me when I woke up today he was going to have 2 hits, an infield hit to the third baseman and a ball down the right field line for a single, I would have said, what?
You got the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Huh? But you know what? I think it's so important, though, that Aaron Judge does DH once in a while. I mean, when you got him playing center field and right field, I mean, a lot of running. When you're going through times like this, Aaron Judge has to be in the lineup in some capacity.
Well, the most important thing is to keep his bat in the lineup every day, no matter where you have to put him, because he's such a difference maker. Good thing is they have all these Monday off days that helps too.
Push bunt down the third base line. Bernardino Fields holds on to it. A bunt single for Verdugo. So a home run to center, followed by a bunt single. And the Yankees have runners on first and second and 1 out.
Well, every once in a while, Joe, you've talked about Bernardino, how tough he is. And, you know, as a left-handed hitter, you got to figure out a way it sometimes. And look how far Devers is back. If you keep this ball fair, no chance. Great
Devers didn't even move.
No.
He's like, I got no chance at this. And that's not textbook, having the hand wrapped around like that, but it worked.
Alex Cora is going to take the ball from Bernardino with Volpe coming up. He'll call on a right-hander. It's 4-3 Red Sox, bottom of the 5th. on Yes is brought to you in part by Tunnel to Towers. Help America's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. By Bet365, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And by Hyundai, with a brand new Hyundai, there's joy in every journey. Some pretty good players don these uniforms, huh?
You know, usually we split screen them, right, Michael? But when you're throwing up guys like Joe D and Mickey, they deserve the whole screen.
They got a whole screen, yeah. Yeah.
See the numbers on Weissert, who came over in the Verdugo tray. Been struggling lately. The last month, it has been a struggle for him with an ERA close to 5. But when you watch him set up, he looks like he's pitching to his manager in the dugout.
Yeah, really.
That can't be real comfortable for a right-hander. Like, okay, where are you looking?
Pitch to Volpe upstairs.
And a lot of times when you see guys with that arm angle, you see a lot of run and sink. His is pretty straight. Got a sweeper as well, of course. That arm angle, you ought to have one.
And a strike.
Didn't take him long to get a beer, did it, either, after he left the Yankees.
1-1. 2-1. Judge at second, Verdugo's at first. 4-3 Red Sox, bottom of the 5th. Weissert against Volpe.
You see that front hip leak in there that you were talking about yesterday.
And that's just, you know, because you're getting out there too quick, you got to open up to try to get to that inside pitch, and now it really sets you up for Weissert to throw that slider. Going back in, huh? Nope.
Still 2-2.
Could you hear catchers moving behind you sometimes?
I always thought it was a fake, though, because Pudge Rodriguez, for instance, would pound his glove inside, and it was almost given that he was going away. You know, so yeah, you can hear stuff, but sometimes it's intentional.
High fly ball, left center on the run. Rafaela still going. He can't make the play, and it bounces over the wall for a double. Judge will score to tie the game, and Verdugo has to stop at third. It's an RBI double for Volpe. It's 4-4.
Two of the bigger hits and better at-bats that Anthony Volpe have had in the last week are with men in scoring position. And sometimes we've talked about that you get your mind off of what you're doing and just get caught up in the game. This is a fastball. And like you said, Joe, straight as an arrow from that arm angle. The Yankees really don't catch a break by this ball bouncing over the fence. Cost them a run to this point.
Well, the Yankees are in that stretch where they got to make breaks themselves because they're not catching them.
Yeah.
And that ball, it's unfortunate to bounce out because you're going to have 2 RBIs instead of 1.
Well, the Red Sox bring the infield in with Grisham at the plate.
Well, Anthony Volpe, he opened up, but he got a good pitch to hit. I mean, this is a fastball right there, and he drove it. And thank goodness it dropped because he has not had much luck. Even on the balls he's hit hard. He's put the Yankees in a good position here, though, to take the lead.
Way inside as Grisham skips rope to get out of the way.
You know, Grisham has not really been really aggressive at the plate. He takes a lot of pitches. Obviously, you're going to take this pitch, but, you know, this is a time where you want to be kind of aggressive, see a ball out over the plate, and really let it go. Try to get some runs on the board. Ball actually hit him? No.
I think they're going to intentionally walk him now. Play for 2. Here comes Austin Wells.
Austin Wells going to pinch hit for Jose Trevino, who has walked in double. As the Yankees going for it right here in the 5th to put up some crooked numbers.
Well, you can always think of a couple plays or a couple situations in the game, Joe, that kind of make or break whether you win or lose. In my mind, that's pretty much right here. I mean, you've got bases loaded, one out. Might be a little short in the bullpen. Who knows? You've lost Weaver probably, for sure. And who knows about Holmes? So you don't want to get it to a bullpen game today, really, not necessarily. You want to throw up some runs.
And here's the other thing, Paul. Because they used Horn and Boozer for multiple innings, Horn for 2 2/3, Boozer yesterday for 2, they probably don't have another left-hander. They might use Boozer, so you can put him in and feel good. He's going to face righties the rest of the game.
That's why this is a no-brainer to have Wells pinch hit for Trevino.
Strike. Just whispers across the inside corner, 0-1. Bases loaded, infield at double play depth. Weissert has set up, as Joe mentioned, he's showing the batter the number on his back. Number 57.
So if I'm the base runner on first, and I don't know, I'm looking to see if I can see the ball in his grip in his glove. To see if you can relay something. Usually you worry about the guy at second seeing the way they set up.
Fouled away and out of play, so 2-2.
You look at Thursday, and Austin Wells hammered one. He had a good pitch to hit right there. Just fouled it back. I always look at bats when they're over at how many pitches did I have to hit? Well, we're at 1 right now. That was a good pitch to hit, but he fouled it off.
2-2. Just missed the outside corner, and the count full at 3-2.
It's another Yankee hitter, though, that gets deep in counts and sees a lot of pitches. And this used to be the trademark of the Yankee team.
And the payoff. Foul back.
Oh, he got out front there and got fooled a little bit, but he was able to keep his hands back just to foul it off. Watch the out front. See out in front a little bit, but able to foul that ball back. He's looking dead fastball.
3-2. Grounded foul. So Wells in there to pinch hit for Trevino in a battle with Weissert, his former teammate.
When you think about it, he just saw a breaking ball like at 82 in the down and away corner, and then a fastball up and in. I mean, he's covering all quadrants.
3-2. Just missed. He walks. That'll force in a run and give the Yankees the lead. Verdugo jogs down the third baseline, and when he touches home plate, the Yankees will lead 5-4. An RBI pinch hit walk for Austin Wells.
Great at bat. I mean, he fouled off some tough pitches, took a pitch off the outside corner for ball 4. Anytime you can get on base as a pinch hitter, you feel like it was a successful at bat, an 8-pitch at bat. I mean, he really battled.
Cabrera takes a strike from Weissert, 0-1. Chase Anderson warming for the Red Sox, the right-hander in their bullpen. Bases remain loaded with 1 man out. 2 runs in, Yankees up by 1. 0-2. Weissert learned his sweeper by watching a Twitter video of Chaz Rowe showing his grip. And he said, I'm going to try that.
Internet's dangerous, Michael, for hitters.
For a lot of people. And the 0-2. Driven to right field. Abreu will make the catch. Tagging is Volpe. The throw is way up the third baseline. It's a sac fly for Cabrera. Another run for the Yanks at 6-4.
Another really good quality at bat from Cabrera. Down in the count, 0-2, kind of battled back and just hammered one here. They could have got a lot more out of it. He got it in the gap, but still enough to tack on another run. Anytime you can just tack on runs late in the game, second part of the half of the game, I mean, you're just giving yourself a chance. The Yankees know from last night that you can't put these guys away. You just got to keep on having good at-bats and hope for the best.
You see the strong arm throw by Abreu. Really got a good arm out in right field.
I didn't even think that there was going to be a play. I mean, he did. He launched that.
One on LeMahieu. He's walked and grounded to short. So with 2 outs, the infield backs up. They've been playing at double play depth once the bases did get loaded. Line drive. It's a base hit to left field. Grisham rounds third. He's coming home. Here's the throw from Duran. Up the first baseline. It's an RBI single for LeMahieu. And the Yankees lead 7-4.
Boy, they put together a rally we haven't seen in a while. Yankee hitters with this good at bats with runners in scoring position. Comes Cora back to the bullpen.
Well, LeMahieu needed that. Picks up his 10th ribby of the year. As Grisham had no intention to stop, and the throw just wasn't anywhere close. The captain likes it. The Yankees putting up a crooked number. They have themselves a lead. In the 2024 Audi Q5, visit your local Tri-State Audi dealer today. Winkowski, the starter for the Red Sox, won 3 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. Garrett Cole, 4 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs. Big home run he gave up to Devers. That was his last batter faced. He walked 2, struck out 8, and he threw 90 pitches. Neither one is the pitcher of record right now. It's in the hands of the bullpen.
Yeah, I look at Garrett Cole's day, and, other than the Devers, the balls that he hit hard, he kind of had some bad luck with a couple dunk hits and a couple bloop hits. But you know what? You like to see him taking the ball every 5th day. It just makes you feel normal again, having him out on the mound.
Ben Rice takes outside from Chase Anderson. Count 1-0. So the Yankees a 4 spot here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And they lead 7-4. Trying to bounce back from a really tough loss last night in extra innings. High fly ball. Right field. Abreu back. On the track. See ya. A long home run for Rice. His second blast of the game. It's a 3-run shot. And the Yankees are pouring it on.
Looks to me like Ben Rice is getting a little bit comfortable here in the Yankee Stadium. I mean, this is so good to see. I mean, who knew that Ben Rice would be part of the offense right now? But he's one of the better parts of the offense right now. Second home run of the day out of the leadoff spot.
Yeah, another no-doubter, too. These aren't wall scrapers. I know we talk about the short porch and right, but...
It just kind of leaks out over the plate, and again, a no-doubter.
1-1 on Soto. Soto's 0 for 3 today as the DH.
What did you say earlier, Michael, today? And a child will lead?
Yes. One and two.
Well, you could not ask for a better way to answer back from an unbelievable loss last night. But early and often, Ben Rice started with a home run in the first and now a big one in the fifth. Looking like a 10 spot to make the manager feel a little better, right?
Numbers that look like Soto and Judge's numbers right there.
And did they just call a pitch clock violation?
This isn't going to go over well. I'll tell you that. That's Juan Soto you just took in the bat from.
And that is going to do it. But the Yankees score 7 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And one of the big blows, this 3-run home run off the rookie's bat, Ben Rice. His second home run of the game, his third in his young career. Yankees lead by 6. As we go to the 6th inning, Tim Hill still in there and deals a strike to Reese McGuire. Seven runs in the 5th inning for the Yankees. They have not had an inning like that in an awfully long time.
Well, you had the big home run from Rice, but you also strung together some really good quality at-bats of just knocking a run in, getting the ball in play. It's good to see.
Cabrera gets the out. Let's go around the majors, guys, see what's going on. The Pirates, 7 home runs against the Mets last night. So many home runs that PNC Park actually ran out of fireworks. They put it on the scoreboard. Will Smith has slapped 3 home runs last night against the Brewers, and Christian Walker, last 6 games, he is on fire. He's like an under-the-radar, really good player for the Diamondbacks.
Made himself a really good defender as well. And how about Miranda with the Angels? 11 straight hits.
Yeah.
11! That's a month for me.
It's amazing because, you have one, either the guy throws a great pitch or you have a batted bat. 11 straight hits. It is amazing.
1-1 on Smith.
It's amazing. We had Kirk Cousins come up here, and the Yankees dropped a touchdown on him.
There you go. Joe's in the game now, huh?
Joe put it all together.
I didn't get enough time. I needed to go through his head and figure out who I should draft in all my fantasy.
Yeah, because I'm sure he was going to drop that info on you.
Tell him what receivers he likes and things like that.
Dribbler up the first baseline. Hill will take it himself. Follow Yes Network on TikTok for exclusive behind-the-scenes content, game highlights, and the latest Yankees news. Don't miss out. Join the ultimate sports community today. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Rafaela. Right now, Tim Hill is the pitcher of record for the Yankees. Obviously, it's the discretion of the official scorer, but he's retired all 4 batters he's faced. Yankees lead 10-4, good buddy. Did you have a CD?
A CB.
A CB, yeah. You had CDs, I know.
My father did. He was in, kind of construction business. And, it's funny, in those old days, the handle, you had a handle, which was your name and stuff. Yeah, that brings back old memories.
What was Mr. O'Neill's handle, you remember?
I think it was CW or something.
CW?
Charles William was his name.
C-Dubs on the CB?
That's right.
Remember that song?
Something
the
McCoy.
CB, yeah.
CB McCoy. Convoy?
Convoy, that's it.
A little Smokey and the Bandit?
Oh, that was a good one.
Grounded to LeMahieu on the short hop.
Wow.
And the Red Sox go down in order 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees lead by 6. Rewards. Stream live games on the S app to earn badges and redeem for merch and gift cards. Go to the S app and start getting rewarded today. Aaron Judge will lead off against Chase Anderson. Grounds it deep to third. Devers fields across the diamond. And they'll get Judge for the first out. From 1 through 9, the Yankee lineup has contributed. It's been very top-heavy of late, but at the bottom of the order, a lot of important things happen today.
What's great on a lineup card, too, is when you have to change the 6th inning to the 7th inning, because
didn't have enough room for
you don't have enough room. They saw 10 hitters.
See, though, I don't like those problems. So you just don't keep score.
You know, he knows how to solve problems, doesn't he, Joe?
So's Joe. Look at this. He's got a bottle of white out just in case.
Yeah, that's right.
Problem solver.
Hit sharply to second, and Verdugo makes the second out of the bottom of the sixth. And then I bring up Anthony Volpe. Had a big double that drove in a run in the fifth inning. Left center field.
A two-strike double, which is even more important.
And the interesting thing, I was watching the Red Sox bench. When he got to 2 strikes, they moved the outfielders in, thinking that he was just going to try to make contact, and he hits one over the head of Rafael in left center field. One and one. Three and one on Volpe. Volpe starting his 87th straight game. He's played in 80 or 90 of the 91 Yankee games. Fly ball right field. Abreu is there. Yankees go down in order. We go to the 7th. Yankees up by 6. Major League Cricket champion, MI New York, face off against the Washington Freedom. Don't miss this exciting matchup happening right now on the Yes app. Tim Hill still in there for the Yankees. He has retired all 5 batters he's faced, staying in there to face Jarren Duran to start off the 7th. And a strike.
This lineup sets up so well for him with
I was just thinking the same thing. Don't you at some point have to address that you don't have any right-handed hitters, really, that scare you?
Well, they have 4 on the bench right now.
Right.
I mean,
that one is chopped to Volpe. Look at Duran flying down the line as Rice could not come up with the pick. He puts pressure on infielders. He was running as if it was a 2-2 game.
Yeah, some people look like they just enjoy sprinting. I guess if you're this fast, Michael, it's fun, but it does. It puts pressure on the defense, and that's what happens. A quick throw, not picked blocked over there by Rice.
Yeah, you think about Ben didn't really stretch out there, probably because he was coming across the infield so fast he didn't have time. But you're right. I mean, that's the pressure that people that run hard put on defenders. And you see Ben, he just kind of doesn't stretch, and it didn't get that bad of a hop, a little bit higher of a short hop than you want. But as he plays over there more and more, I think he'll become pretty good over there.
They give Volpe an error on that one on the throw. E6, slice foul.
Hey, remember, he's not a natural first baseman. I mean, he's still kind of a work in progress at first, huh?
No, he's a catcher.
Yeah.
Well, here's your first right-hander off the bench.
Romy Gonzalez pinch hitting for Hamilton. Caleb Ferguson's up. Lights are on here at Yankee Stadium. Kind of overcast in the Bronx. And down goes Gonzalez. Strikes out as a pinch hitter.
It is so hard to pinch hit these days. Analytics will tell you most of the times don't pinch hit. Now here comes their second right-hander.
How about Ben Rice using Brett Weber's glove? You see that, Joe?
He probably didn't have one.
Yeah.
Guys, I actually talked to Brett Weber about it because I saw it day one when Ben Rice was added to the roster, and he said he got up here, looked at his first baseman's glove, and said, here, take this one. That's actually the glove that DJ LeMahieu was using when he played first base, too. So kind of like the sisterhood of the traveling pants. Well, the brotherhood of the traveling glove. There you go.
Nice. You get a call to the big league. Your catchers, can you play first? I'd be running to Dick's Sporting Goods and just getting every first base glove I could just to get up here.
Unfortunately, now Brett Weber needs a new glove, guys.
I think Brett will be all right. He was a pitcher, and that's probably why he uses such a big glove.
For those that don't know, Brett is the guy who really tells the Yankees, challenge or not, he's so good at looking at those replays and does it in a hurry. And he's really an unsung hero for them. They're very good at challenging.
And, Joe, you talked about on that last play with Ben Rice not stretching for that ball. He is out here early every day working on his defense at first base, trying to get comfortable at the position and trying to improve at the position.
He keeps hitting 2 home runs a game. He doesn't have to be Don Mattingly at first.
Well, I can tell you, Meredith, I played first base one game. It was an exhibition game when the Yankees went and played Columbus. I was scared to death. You're running to first base, and the ball's in the air, and you don't know where it's at. Now, catcher, you see it come out of their hand. You know exactly where it's going. I hated it. And I remember Mike Figger was in AAA.
Mike Figger.
And I could have sworn he was stepping in the bucket trying to hit at me. And I was so mad at him.
High fly ball, left center field. Who's going to get it? Grisham will. Now it's time to name that Yankee presented by Prevagen. Here are the clues. This one is kind of easy. It's El Tiante.
Louis.
Boy, he could pitch.
Yeah, I think, didn't we hear David Cohn say that he used to kind of idolize some of his motions and the way he pitched?
Pitch for both the Yankees and the Red Sox. Line drive into center field off the bat of Devers. Run down by Grisham. And that'll do it. That's a strong couple of innings for Tim Hill. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left for the Red Sox at the end of 6.5. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead this one 10-4, but we'll stay right here as they honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Air Force Airman First Class Robert Borat from Hartford, Connecticut, who served in the Korean War. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. And now, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her. Throw the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, guys. 10-10-1 for the Yankees, 4-7-0 for the Red Sox. You see the particulars as the Yankees try to snap a 4-game losing streak and even up the series at a game apiece. Tomorrow's game is going to be a Sunday night baseball affair on ESPN, but we'll have guest coverage right after. Gonzalez takes over at short. Ref Snyder takes over in right field. So, Paul, since we don't have to do the game tomorrow, I made reservations for the two of us. Nice place in the Hamptons.
The two of us?
Yeah, we'll go to a club afterward.
Well, we already missed the white party out there, so we might as well just go.
You know, we missed it because we weren't invited.
Oh, we weren't invited. We just had a game. Come on,
okay.
You got to embellish the story here a little bit.
Derek Jeter was there. CeCe Sabathia was there. Tom Brady. We fit right in.
Exactly. You know, just tell the truth. We gave our tickets to Jeet because he wasn't invited. We just gave him our tickets.
The story's getting better and better.
No. You tick off, Derek, not me, okay? That was O'Neill who said that. Two and one on Grisham. High fly ball. Deep right center. Rafaela back on the track at the wall. He's going to play it off the wall as Grisham has a double.
Well, it's kind of tailing away. Grisham puts a great swing on it off the bat. I thought I had a chance to get out of here off the bottom of the wall. All of a sudden, you see what confidence does. 11th hit of the day for the Yankees.
Wells, a high pop-up on the left side. Devers in foul territory. We'll put it away. Today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Cabrera's in the lineup playing second because Gleyber Torres exited last night's game with right groin tightness. He's available to play today, but they wanted to give him a day. 308, a home run, 4 ribbies in the last 7 games, OPS at 783. They don't think it's anything serious and long-term. Again, he could play today if they needed him. One and 0 on Oswaldo. Single, sac bunt, and a sac fly. One and 1.
Would you say the class was in session there when Garrett Cole was talking to Volpe?
Yeah, you got a pitcher talking to a hitter, which sometimes is a good thing. You know, you always want to hear what they're seeing, what they're trying to do as a pitcher to a hitter.
Who was your best pitcher source on the Yankees?
You know, Coney knew a lot about hitting also, and yeah, I used to talk to Pettit a lot too because he was a good pitcher, and I would drive. I mean, obviously a good pitcher, but he knew how to set up certain things, and I would drive to the ballpark with him every day, so we would get into certain things.
He was trying to get those secrets of left on left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't need them. I'll tell you, one time we were out, it was actually during, right after 9/11, we had that break, and, you know, he lived next door to me, so we went out to play catch, and he is just all of a sudden lighting it up, throwing those sinkers, hitting me in the thumb. I'm like, this game's over. You know, I'm better with a bat against you than I am trying to catch this thing.
And then what did he scream at him? I'm trying.
I'm trying out here. I'm really trying. Jeet put his glove, I think, over his face. We were all laughing.
Yeah.
Boy, to be a fly on the wall in that classroom right now, what is Garrett Cole telling Anthony Volpe? And Aaron Judge joins the class.
Or maybe making sure that he gives him the right information about hitting.
Yeah.
That's a pretty star-studded little line there.
That is so important, though, that the older players share their knowledge with the younger players.
Line drive, it's a base hit, center field. Grisham rounds third, he's going to hold up as the throw comes all the way home. It's a single for Cabrera's second hit of the afternoon.
Cabrera's had some really good at-bats. Had the sacrifice fly also, and we really battled back. But these are balls up in the strike zone that he's staying on top of and just lining back up the middle. You know, your mechanic's got to be really good to be able to handle that pitch.
Well, I know he tries to learn a lot from Juan Soto. Juan Soto's a really good high ball hitter, and I think that's because his swing is so flat through the zone. And you see, he got on top of it and just stayed through it. See the good arm by Rafaela in center field to keep it to a single and not a run scoring.
Here's LeMahieu. 1-0. 12th hit by the Yankees. They have not had these sorts of games in the 20-game stretch where they are 5-15. Line drive, right field. Coming on is Refsnyder. He's going to play it on a hop. Scoring is Grisham. It's another base hit and another ribby for LeMahieu. And it's 11-4 Yanks.
Again, another guy that has had some good at-bats with runners in scoring position. Line drive to left last time. Cover the ball away this time. I mean, you love to see guys all start to get hot, but you got to save some of these, too. You don't want to use them all up in a day, huh?
Well, you don't want to use them all in a day, but you want a lot of guys to feel good about themselves. Yeah. And I'm sure Aaron Boone wouldn't mind a little laugher.
Yeah.
I mean, all the games have been close and tough losses.
Well, now Ben Rice sitting on 2 home runs. Now you go up there thinking of 3?
Well, you try not to. You try to block it out because you realize that, you know, a home run is just a pretty much a good swing on a mistake or a bad pitch. But when you start thinking about forcing home runs, bad things can happen in your mechanics.
Yeah, you look at the RBIs he's had, but you think about it, Paul. This is why hitting is so hard today, too. It's his 5th at bat. He's seen 4 pitchers.
Driven out to right field and deep. There it goes. What a day for Ben Rice. His 3rd home run. Another 3-run shot. My, oh, my. What a day for the rookie. He doesn't know where to go. Show him the way. Wow. Chills.
You know what? How can you not enjoy that? And his personality has been that way since he got here. That big smile. And at times he looks like he's 12 years old, but you know what? He did something a 12-year-old can't do. He just hit his 3rd home run in Yankee Stadium.
And 7 ribbies.
What was your second point today on the Keys? That the sun came up this morning?
Yeah, well,
you must have saw it about 5 a.m.
Right, exactly. I saw a thunderstorm. He saw bright sunshine. It's been quite a day. That's impressive, though. You remember my keys. Michael doesn't even listen to my keys. He's got other things on his mind.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know he's running this show, so he's got a lot to worry about.
Might go off the rails here.
I mean, I wonder if he even dreams that big. 3 home runs in the big leagues. He just got called up a minute ago.
Yeah, when you come into today's game with 1 home run and 5 RBIs, and then, you know, at this point you leave with 4 and 12, that's a pretty good day.
Soto with a high fly ball. And Juan is 0 for 5 today.
Oh, he can handle the ball away. The ball's supposed to be in. It got out to the outside part of the plate. Pretty short swing, though, huh, Joe?
Yeah, and he's very good at getting the barrel of the bat to the ball. The other thing that he doesn't do is he really almost picks up his front foot and puts it down. So his head is never moving forward. His head is really still.
It's not a big lunge. A lot of times you see a leg kick and then a far lunge. Look, he's getting directed. He didn't know where to go.
He's lost. He's lost for the curtain call.
Are you guys kidding me? Thought it was a rookie prank.
And then he finally found the way up the steps and receives the love. What a great moment.
Well, you think about, let's go back to when he first got here. I was here for his first game, and he swung at the first breaking ball, and he swung at it before it even left the pitcher's head, right? And they talked about his patience and his bat-to-ball skills. And then all of a sudden, he kind of settled down. But during this stretch, he ran into a ton of left-handers.
Yeah.
And really wasn't seeing what really Ben Rice could do. I mean, he ran into Sale. He ran into, I think, Max Fried. He ran into a couple from the Mets. This kid, from the beginning, though, even though he wasn't having a lot of production, his at-bats were really good. And now it's paying off.
Yeah, you made that point last night, and I thought it was a really good point. A lot of times when you bring rookies up, I mean, you want perfect matchups for them. You want to try to get them on their feet. You don't want them facing Chris Sale and a boatload of tough lefties. And, boy, he is taking it in. He can't hide his emotions. I mean, he is so happy to be here. And just, I mean, what a day.
Strike 3. Judge down looking. Let's take a look at that day by Ben Rice. First inning. Starts off the game with a solo shot into the second deck. Now let's move to the fifth. A 3-run blast. He's pumped up, but now he's really pumped up. He just had a week on a Saturday in the Bronx. Your help, donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. Well, the Ben Rice story is a wholesome story. It's a neat story. Called up out of necessity when Rizzo went down. And the Yankees were a little hesitant about calling him up because they knew they were facing all those left-handed starters. And when they did bring him up, they were committed to not sitting him down against those lefties. So he got at bats against lefties, got comfortable in the big leagues. He's 25 years old. He went to Dartmouth. He's no Rube. So I think he can handle this.
Well, you know, the funny thing is last night, so my daughter Allie, right, her married name is Rice. Mm-hmm. She said, do they have Ben Rice jerseys? So I called Mike Laparo, and he had them made up for me last night. I took them home. You might start that press up again. You might have to have a few more ready because he's going to be a fan favorite if he continues to hit.
Cooking up something special with Hexclad. 3 home runs today. First Yankee rookie ever to do that. Pretty nice company. Wow. You're all alone. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Josh Maciejewski comes on for the Yankees. And Valdez fouls it off. Now you wonder how like a young rookie, 20, 21, would handle that curtain call, the 3 home runs, if it would go to his head. But it's been a long haul for him. He's 25 years old. And Joe, he was in college during COVID, and he kind of arranged workouts by himself so that people could see him and maybe draft him. It was a long haul for him, but, he stuck to it, and, here he is in the big leagues.
Yeah, and so far we really haven't seen anything change in his approach, even when he was struggling. Mm-hmm. There was no panic. There was nothing that showed that he was in a hurry to get a hit, that he became more aggressive. He just seems really mature to me, even though he looks like he's 12.
Exactly.
You get your Ben Rice jersey 93, and if he continues to play well, my guess is he won't be 93 next year.
Yeah, he might have
You don't know. I mean, Judge made high numbers cool.
Yeah.
As Valdez goes down on strikes. Well, I went to PS 93 in the Bronx, so that number means something to me.
See that? You always tie it into yourself.
Did you get in trouble a lot at PS 93?
No.
Well, why are you shocked that I asked that?
Well, I'm a good person. Why would I get in trouble?
Yeah.
Good student?
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you when he got in trouble, Joe, was when He was supposed to meet his father after the game, and he made him wait an hour for it.
Wow, you have an hour, 2.5 hours.
Well, no wonder you got in trouble. Huh?
I got into more than trouble, and believe me, he couldn't do that in 2024.
You know, there's times in life we just got to make a decision, and you know.
I wanted to see the end of the game on the second game of the doubleheader, and my mom and dad were waiting out on Girard Avenue for 2.5 hours.
I bet that was a great.
How old were you?
11.
I mean, were you nervous walking to the car like this?
Oh, I knew I was gonna own it.
This ain't gonna end well.
Yeah, my mom and dad took turns.
Was it worth the stay?
Of course.
Nice. They took turns. I like it.
So does Charlie know that story?
I don't think he knows it yet.
Hopefully he's listening. So when he does something like that, he'll say, Dad, I learned from you.
Well, it's funny because the first game went, I think, 10 innings. It was against the Kansas City Royals, and the second game ended up going 18 innings. But they told me, you come out of the second game after the 7th inning. And it was tied, and I wasn't leaving.
Oh, you got to make decisions in life, Michael.
Swing and a miss. So anyway, I end up leaving after the 16th inning. And again, they're taking turns, and we end up going home. And the game's still on, and I run to the TV. And,
so you didn't go to get ice cream on the way home?
Oh, when I ran to put on a TV, my mother said, "You better make something of this obsession with baseball." I think Celerino Sanchez got a hit to win the game.
Wow.
There's a strike to McGuire. Now, if I raise my voice a little to Charlie and Callie, Jody goes, no, you can't do that.
Oh, I know. Exactly. Might hurt their feelings.
2 outs here in the 8th inning. 14-4 Yankees.
You know, I'm watching Josh pitch here. I've never seen him pitch in person. He's not in a real good position to feel the ground ball hit back at him when he finishes.
You had a 3-homer game, right?
I did, yeah, against the Angels. Funny thing is, when I remember that, going to the ballpark that day, I didn't even know if I was going to play. I was not swinging the bat well. I think I struck out 3 times the night before off Finley. I'm like, I got a good chance of getting benched tonight. Next thing you know, you have one of the best games of your career. That's the way the game goes.
How about Maciejewski? He strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The electric moment. Experience a fully electric Audi vehicle at your local Tri-State Audi dealer today. What a day. What an electric day for Ben Rice. Some of the emotions that this young man shows. He doesn't hide how happy he is. And he got the thrill of a lifetime when he climbs those steps and receives his first curtain call. And then you could read by his smile. Electric indeed. Hyundai scoreboard, bottom of the 8th, 14-4. Well, Katie Sharp says that these are the Yankees in their history with 3 or more home runs and 7 or more ribbies in a game. Lou Gehrig, Tony Lazzari, Mike Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
You took over for him, Joe.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, A-Rod, and Ben Rice.
Wow.
Well, 4 Yankees will have to reach in order to get him up and have a chance to hit his 4th home run. Verdugo, Volpe, and Grisham against Chase Anderson here in the 8th.
So your homers were off 2 off of Brian Anderson and 1 off Yankee bullpen coach Mike Harkey.
Mike Harkey, yeah.
Does he remember?
Oh, I'm sure pitchers don't forget. You kidding me?
Will you remind him, Joe?
Oh, yeah. We talked about him in the broadcast.
1-2 on Verdugo. Verdugo had a 2-run home run in the 3rd, and then a bunt single and a run scored in the 5th. One streak looks like it might come to an end. We told you Soto's 0 for 5. He had walked in 9 straight games, and his career high was 10 straight games. No walks today for Juan Soto. High fly ball. Duran puts it away. 1 down. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. And by Ford, the official SUV of the Yankees.
Did you see that stat today that the Yankee Nick Johnson walked 17 games in?
Yeah.
Posada was 13. Jorge had a great eye.
Yeah.
And was dangerous with the bat.
Yeah, I did see that. It did surprise me. Today also, wasn't it the Andy Hawkins where he threw, 10 or 11 innings?
I didn't see that.
I think it was today. And he had a no-hitter, and it went through 10 or 11 innings or something, then he gave it up. You're supposed to know all these things.
And lost the game, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Can you imagine throwing a no-hitter for 10 and getting the loss?
No, it wasn't. If that's against the White Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw a no-hitter, but the Yankees had 3 errors and probably in the 8th inning as Volpe goes down on strikes. And that'll bring up Grisham. We check out the T-Mobile coverage cam and how smooth Trent Grisham is in center field.
He fools you sometimes up here, thinking that he's not going to get to a ball. That he just times it where it looks like it's just an easy play time and time again.
Well, anyway, in that game they're trying to get Leyritz's bat in the lineup, and they put him in left field.
Right.
And so it was windy day at the old Comiskey, and ends up dropping the ball, and then a couple more errors, and they score, and the Yankees didn't score. So he was credited with a no-hitter, but because the White Sox were ahead, there was no bottom of the 9th inning, and then Major League Baseball changed it and said you have to pitch 9 innings to get a no-hitter. So not only did he get a loss, he had his no-hitter taken away. Now, July 1st was the game we're talking about. And today, he went 11 2/3 shutout innings in his next start, and then he lost.
Again, something that will probably never happen again. 11 2/3 inning from a starter, huh?
Pitch half that, you get a quality start almost.
Exactly. Make a lot of money throwing 5 innings now, can't you?
High pop-up, right field. Left Snyder is near the line and puts it away. in fair territory for the final out. We'll go to the ninth. Yankees up by 10.
In the fifth, and on a two-strike pitch, Anthony Volpe hits this long double to tie the score 4-4. Would have had some more, but then DJ LeMahieu kept the rally going with the single and made the score 7-4, and they ended up scoring 3 more after that. Big hits from 2 guys who could really use them.
Dominic Smith will lead off here in the ninth inning against Maciejewski. 1-0. Now, you've hit 3 home runs, Paul. Ben Rice has 3 home runs. So how does it work when you try to sleep tonight? Do you sleep well, or do you not sleep well because you're just so pumped up?
Yeah, it's very hard to come down from a performance like that. Mine was a night game, though. He's got a day game where he gets to enjoy it a little bit longer. I mean, hopefully his family's in town. You go to a dinner, but it just keeps re-entering your mind what you just did, because you've been dreaming about these kind of days since you've been 5 years old.
My guess is if he shows up for a dinner and they recognize who he is, he's not paying.
Yeah, good chance that Ben Rice might be on the house tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
1-0 to Rafaela. I keep thinking, if Sterling hadn't retired, what would be the call? Is it Rice-A-Roni?
Ooh.
The Yankee treat? I'm going to have to call John and ask him what it would be.
It's got a little San Francisco feel to it, though, huh?
Well, congratulations to, Ben Rice on being voted the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week just by one day. One day got him the Player of the Week. How about that? No, he's had a good week.
Yeah, well, you want to leave a lasting impression, and he left it today.
Swayed the voting. Our guy Mike Nedvin back in the studio said he'd probably go with Rice Baby.
Rice?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'd expect an answer the next time I see you, Michael, what John would have said.
Okay. I think he and his family are celebrating his birthday today, so I'll call him tomorrow.
Okay.
Now let's take a look at those 3 home runs on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud and get the numbers behind them. First one traveled 390 feet, and then he had the exact distance on the other 2, 406 feet.
Red, white, and blue, too. Must be the 4th of July weekend. Huh?
Fireworks. Duran grounds a foul. This, if you're a Yankee fan and if you're in that Yankee dugout, you have to feel good. You suffered an unbelievable gut punch. No, that's the words of Aaron Boone today, too, of a loss. Came back today and got a laugher.
And it started early. I mean, we're talking about Ben Rice, but, just scoring that run in the first inning, it's just like it kind of closes the book. All right, now we're in another one, and that's the nature of baseball. You've got to be able to close the book quick on something that happens bad.
And even the way they did it, Rafael Devers hits a home run in the 5th off the Garrett Cole, put him up 4-3. And you're thinking, wow, our ace is out. You're down 4-3. We saw what happened yesterday. The bullpen's been struggling. And the offense just really responded, which is so great to see.
1-2 on Duran.
One thing the Yankees have done, even during this slide, is that they've hit fairly well with runners in scoring position. And they had some really great at-bats in that 5th inning where they threw up the 7 runs. Obviously you remember the big home run, but there was, some good fought-out at-bats. It just kept the line moving.
Red Sox are down to their final out. two-way here in the ninth. Fans after the final out get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. I'm sure he'll be a little more relaxed than yesterday. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame.
You're talking about the good at match. You had the bunt single by Verdugo, the sac fly by Oswaldo Cabrera, the walk by Wells with the bases loaded. Just really good at bats.
There's Romy Gonzalez, who pinch hit for Hamilton in the 7th and struck out. Grounded to LeMahieu. This should do it. And it does. Yankees win 14-4. Snap a 4-game losing streak. Ben Rice has the day of his young career with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. He will never forget it, but it was an important day for the Yankees to bounce back.
I mean, to bounce back from that last night, that's a big thing. And you have a little time to exhale, and then again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, national television, back out here against the Red Sox.
Yeah, and I think it's important for them to win a series because it's been a while. I mean, they tied Toronto last weekend, but they got to find a way to win a series and get back on their winning ways. And they can do that tomorrow night against their toughest rival.
All right, so Joe, what was your take on how Cole looked?
I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, they kind of chinked him to death, except for the couple hits by Devers. I mean, there weren't too many hard hit balls. I believe that David Hamilton had a double early in the game off him, but he was in control, I thought, for most of the game. But some soft contact killed him.
Well, no soft contact off the bat of Ben Rice. Again, 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. And you could come up with whatever clever sayings you want. The Yankees are in the Rice age, Rice, 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 baby. But this story is about Ben Rice when a rookie comes up out of necessity, out of desperation because of all the injuries, and they needed some kind of a spark. Well, he has certainly provided it. He has not been overmatched against anybody. Tough lefties. Might not get a lot of hits, but he's working the count, takes a lot of pitches, and everybody behind him gets to see all those pitches as well. Ben Rice has actually performed admirably and acquitted himself very well, and you're going to see more of him because why not, Paul? What's he done not to have time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want that bat in the lineup. The offense needs it, and you just go on from here.
Well, let's hear from him. Meredith Marakovits has Ben Rice in front of the Yankee dugout.
Thanks, Michael. Ben, today you did something that no other Yankee rookie has ever done, blasting 3 home runs in a single game. What was it about your approach today that allowed you to have that level of success?
Just same approach as always. Just control what I can control, swing at pitches in the zone, and go up there looking to do damage.
You grew up a Yankees fan. You know the history of this organization. How meaningful is that to you to stand alone in the record books in a category knowing who has donned the pinstripes over the years?
Yeah, I mean, it's humbling, honestly. I mean, knowing how many legends have worn this jersey before me, and to be in a category like that is it's pretty amazing.
When you stepped up to the plate there in that 7th inning, did you have home run on your mind?
No, never. I never do. It's always just go up there, try to hit the ball hard, and do what I can.
The dugout went absolutely crazy when they saw that go over the wall there in center field. When you got back to the dugout, it seemed like you were getting a little help towards that curtain call.
Yeah, I honestly had no idea what they were talking about, but they kind of guided me over towards the steps, and that's a moment I'll never forget.
Describe that moment when you tipped your cap to this Yankees crowd.
I mean, it was just special. It was special. I mean, that's something you don't really get to do often, and to give a little salute to these great fans was really cool.
You haven't been here very long, but the at-bats have been productive. How have you been able, generally speaking, to slow it down in the batter's box as a rookie?
Yeah, it's just trusting myself, having confidence, in all the work that I put into it, and just kind of letting everything take care of itself, letting the game come to me.
And how badly did this team need it after last night just to bounce back? What do you think of the way of not only you and the offense responded, but the pitching staff as well?
Yeah, definitely a great bounce back win. I mean, a lot of gutsy at bats, gutsy pitching. To kind of have put an exclamation mark on that win was big time for us.
What are you going to remember most from this afternoon?
I'll remember the curtain call for sure. That was pretty cool.
Ben, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Michael, Paul, Joe, we'll send it back up to you.
A very, very likable young man, and he doesn't hide his emotions, doesn't try to be too cool. And you know what? When you hit 3 home runs, you're pretty cool. Your teammates are going to think you're cool. Fan base thinks you're cool. And the Yankees needed this victory in a big way. And he contributed as the Yankees win by 10 and 7 ribbies off the bat of Ben Rice.
This has been a presentation of the Yes Network. Soaring into history. Your home for award-winning coverage of the New York Yankees.